Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We are on the way to 11,300 subscribers. And if you could click the like button, I would be incredibly grateful. It's a Monday, so look, congratulations, you've made it through Monday. Euros tomorrow, Wednesday. How are we feeling nervous? Are we feeling nervous? Obviously not if your team isn't involved, but there's loads of you here, which is good to see. Hyper, Craigie, Vivi Vlad, Lord Ferguson of Aberdeen, Ethan Udall, Fizzy, Typical Puma, Say, Leeds Gunner, Joe, Logical Nonsense, Saliba, Max Evans, Jack Sachs, Hannah, Lukey, Devin, Smithy, Carter, Ross Lawman, Ryan Henderson, and many, many more. In the words of Smithy, you are late, you twonk. Well. What is all of this? What is all of this abuse? It was 6:31. 6:31. You know, give me a break. And I was actually just collecting some more things for the show, you know. With Saka and Rice, you never feel nervous. Very true. Very true. Do you know what, actually? We'll start. Obviously, there's loads of transfer stuff to talk about, and we'll get into that. I actually want to start with a bit of a defense of Ian Wright today. Because, again, the abuse of Ian Wright for one comment about Saka playing at left back has gone way too far. I'm seeing again, there was a clip of him today. I think he was on the podcast thing with Gary Neville, whatever the name of that podcast is. And Neville made a comment about Arsenal fans being angry at Ian Wright. And, you know, he responded to it saying, like, you know, he understands it and whatever. And I'm seeing people clip it up and, like, continuing to direct this abuse at him. Like, it's just a bit excessive. I think for one of our club legends, who's one of the most vocal in supporting us still, he made a silly comment, which he probably didn't think about at the time. And honestly, in the context of where England were at, in terms of factually, Saka at left back looked better than Trippier at left back when we did it. Now, look, should he have said it? Probably not. Would he say it again? Probably not. But I'm seeing people disown him as a fucking Arsenal legend over this. And in my opinion, that is way too excessive. So that's all I'm going to say on that. But I just think it's way too excessive. Gyökeres steam train boarding soon. I reckon the steam train, the Gyökeres steam train, late August, the Gyökeres steam train is going to be steaming. Geltec, good to see you. You don't see any club legends do that to their star boy. But he didn't. All he said was, it's an option. And he's not even, he technically wasn't even wrong. And right now we're seeing Saka at right wing back. Like, you've got to bear in mind, he's also English. He is also English. And he's trying to look at it from an English perspective. And I honestly think if it wasn't for the Saka Cole Palmer thing and the online hatred between Chelsea and Arsenal, I genuinely don't think it would have been made into such a big thing. It was like people were more annoyed that they were like, oh, but now Chelsea fans can use that against us. It's like, hey, it's Twitter, you know? Welcome to the real world. No one gives a shit. The steam train's been moving. Yeah, but trust me, late August, I reckon we're going to pick up pace. Any news on Chido Obi Martin? No. As far as I'm aware, I'll just double check, but as far as I'm aware, nothing has been done or agreed yet on Chido. So there's no new news on that. People slagging off Righty, but yet you've had Scholes, Rio, Schmeichel, etc. say Saka stops England play and Palmer provides more, etc. It's a joke. I agree. It's not a big thing, but it's 2024. Media is a factor. That's why I don't give Wright the excuse. Okay, let's flip it on its head then. Media is a massive factor. The Arsenal fan base, or some of them, are now willing to completely turn on a club legend for one misplaced comment. One comment that he probably should have thought a bit more about. And the Arsenal fan base is willing to completely turn on him and abuse him and harass him for one comment. So that's the flip side of it. How do you think Arsenal fans look to anyone outside of the Arsenal fan base when this is how you would treat a legend like Ian Wright for saying one thing that he shouldn't have said? That's the opposite side of that. So there you go. Seeing Rio switch up after Saka's goal is embarrassing. Look, Rio Ferdinand is a complete embarrassment. You know, I can't even remember what I think I said on Twitter. You know, Rio Ferdinand has to Google the alphabet. He doesn't. He can't even recite the alphabet. A complete moron. but he's in a different class to Ian Wright, who I genuinely think just said something that he didn't massively think about. And it's like, don't get me wrong, people are more than entitled to say that that was a silly thing to say. I'm talking about the people that are literally like, he's not Arsenal. He shouldn't be allowed back in the Emirates. Stuff like that. I just think it's crazy. Anyway, look, moving on from that, because I didn't actually want to spend that long talking about it. We'll start with Calafiori. It's same as. The latest from Fabrizio: Arsenal and Bologna are in ongoing discussions to close a deal for Riccardo Calafiori. Clubs are negotiating the fixed fee and the structure of the deal. And I tweeted this earlier on today. I was like, I can't wait for today's version of Calafiori deal is nearly there. It's really close. And Calafiori has his heart set on Arsenal. Final negotiations on go. That's the reality. It will be done by the end of the week. I've got no doubt about that. It will be done by the end of the week. I'm waiting for Ornstein to tweet about it. Once Ornstein comes out, it's basically done at that point. One thing I would say is, people are getting specifically annoyed at Fabrizio because Fabrizio's style is that he does tweet about the same things a lot without really offering an update. It's not helped by the fact that, today, Fabrizio himself has not tweeted about Calafiori, but he was on a podcast where he was asked the question on the podcast, what's the latest on Calafiori, which is obviously a question he's going to be asked. He then answers it with things that he's already said. And then it's the aggregators, right? It's the Eduardo Haynes of the world, the aggregators on Twitter, that they go breaking or just in, and then recite the same thing. And that makes it come across as if Fabrizio's doing it as like a new thing. So it's a combination of all of that. But basically it's as you were with Calafiori at the moment. I genuinely don't care about Here We Go anymore. It's all about the Orny Bomber. Oh, I agree with that. We're all on the Orny Bomber. It's just his job. He earns money through impressions. Well, everyone does, right? That's the thing. It's the same with the aggregators. The aggregators are earning they earn the little bit of the pie. Fabrizio obviously earns the big bit of the pie. Oh, look at that. Wonder who he's a fan of. I'm so happy I don't have Twitter. Yeah, sometimes I wish I hadn't. I've got an exceptionally itchy nose, and I don't know what's happening. The guy Fabrizio is recycling the same news in different words. Yeah, he does do that a lot. But hey, if it works, it works. But that's why I love Ornstein. Because Ornstein comes in, drops the bomber, and bounces. Like, we got an Orny bomber last night. Sadly, it's the third choice keeper, though. I know. So actually, whilst we're speaking about that, so this came from Reluctant Nico today. Oh, it was on his Patreon. Arsenal and Wolves are well apart on the valuation of keeper Dan Bentley, the target of a surprise move. Wolves want around 1 million for Bentley, mainly as they will have to fund a move for a replacement, and Arsenal see the Arsenal interest as a hostile bid. Arsenal are hoping to steal away Bentley for a lot less, but the clubs are working on the move and may yet meet in the middle. I don't even know where to start on that. So Wolves, Hyper, thank you very, very much for being a member for 3 months. Unbelievable. Hyper, one of the biggest supporters. What an absolute legend. Can confirm Rory is a legend. Hyper is the legend. You'll love to see it. I just don't get this. So Wolves want 1 million quid for him, and we're getting into like big negotiations. We don't want to pay that. I know. Okay, look. Outside the context of football, 1 million quid is a lot of money. For Arsenal, 1 million quid, and even for Wolves, 1 million quid, I don't know what's going on, but we've come in with a hostile bid. So what have we bid? 500 grand? It's insane. Okay, buddy. We'll get rid of you. I'm surprised you can spell it, but there you go. You're gone. Basically, it has to be a third choice keeper. We discussed yesterday what this would mean. It's fine. He's gone. Yeah, we discussed yesterday what this would mean in terms of where Bentley would come in. He has to be coming in as a third choice keeper. We're not spending 1 million quid on a second choice keeper. So for me, that means it's going to be David Raya number 1. it will then be Ramsdale or another replacement for Ramsdale. So, we've spoken about Joan Garcia potentially coming in from Espanyol for like 25 million. Bentley will then be our third choice keeper. And I think Carl Hayne will go out on loan. So I think Carl Hayne is definitely going to go out on loan if we're chasing someone like Bentley. And then it will just come down to whether or not we lose Ramsdale. And then if we do, we definitely... Like, Bentley is not going to be number 2 next season, basically. Hayne not third. He should just leave. No, he's going to go on loan. He's going to go on loan. You've got to remember, Carl Hayne is still very, very young for a goalkeeper. He is he's got quite a lot of experience because of how much he's played for Estonia, but he is very young for a goalkeeper. He needs to go out and get first team football. Carl Hayne needs to, and it was rumored at the time. No, it was rumored at the time that it wasn't about being the second choice keeper. It wasn't that he was promised being the second choice keeper. It was that he was told he could go out on loan. That was what was rumored at the time, because he wants, even being, it makes no difference to him really whether he's the third choice or the second choice, right? You're barely going to play either way. If he can go out on loan, then that's a big thing for him. So yeah, I think Carl Hayne goes out on loan. Bentley comes in as the third choice keeper. And by the way, it's no surprise that Bentley is English for the homegrown quota. So we're looking at spending basically, maximum £1 million on a homegrown player that will be the third choice keeper. Apparently one of the reasons Wolves want to keep him, he's only got a year left on the deal at Wolves, but apparently one of the reasons they want to keep him is that he's a really good player in the dressing room and stuff. Like, apparently he's really well regarded around the dressing room as a person. So that's the goalkeeper situation, which is a bit weird. I just can't imagine us haggling over literally a few £100,000. I think they said Bentley was a Highlander. He was, yeah. So actually, that's a good point. So Bentley himself actually came up through the academy. I don't know how old he was when he left. I think he left to Southend when he was like 16 or something. But yeah, originally he was a Highlander. Look at this, 2 for 2 tonight. Crazy. What, Rory? You can't get laid? No, not at all. It's I have real difficulty with it. Absolutely. Whereas you, of course, I am sure, absolutely inundated with women, which is why this is how you're spending your evening. Anyway, that's another one gone. I'd love Eze. The Eze update. I would also love Eze. It's coming from Ed Aarons in The Guardian. To be honest, there's not a lot of substance to it. Just says Arsenal are understood to be among several clubs interested in Crystal Palace's Eberici Eze. Now, one thing I would say, and again, this ties back into the Calafiori thing, like, Eze's at the Euros. There is nothing coming in or going out of the England camp in terms of transfers. Nothing is going to move on this until after the Euros. If we are genuinely interested in Eze, I would be very happy with that signing. I've said it before. I think he is an incredibly talented player. I think the versatility, he has played in midfield for Crystal Palace quite a lot. He could play off either wing. We don't have anyone, in my opinion, in the club that can take the ball past one or two players in the way that he can. I think he'd be great. I think he would be great. So we'll wait and see. I mean, apparently Spurs are really interested in him. It would be a shame to see him go to Spurs, but do you think Chido will stay? I don't know on Chido. I mean, you've got to say, so far, every academy player pretty much that we've tried to keep has left, other than Ethan Nwaneri. But yeah, I honestly don't know on Chido. I have no idea. But yeah, I think Eze. Why do I get the feeling Eze is a smokescreen for something else? Well, it could be. Kudus would be better. I mean, I'd love Kudus as well. I would love Kudus. If you know the channel, you know how much I'm a fan of Kudus. But yeah, it's an interesting one. It is an interesting one. It does seem like Eze's going somewhere this summer either way. So how much would Eze cost? I think they've put it's like 50 to 60 million. So, I mean, 50 to 60 million for a player of Eze's quality, it's not bad. I don't think his injury record and his age slightly go against him. And I mean, it's kind of crazy to say that, a 26-year-old. I think he's 26. The age is going against him for that, but just the reality. Glasner somewhere crying right now? Yeah, probably. The only good thing for Glasner, I suppose, well, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing, but the only saving grace is that at least it means he's probably got some money to spend. Swap ESR for him. Well, that's another option, right? So, according to Sky, Fulham are among a number of Premier League clubs that are holding a strong interest in Emil Smith-Rowe, and they're expected to formalise their interest soon. It's understood Smith-Rowe wants to assess all of his options, with regular first-team football being his primary motivation. So again, a bit of an interesting one. On Smith-Rowe. I mean, Fulham seems like the likely destination. We keep hearing that Fulham are really interested. Some people were reporting that they'd actually launched their first bid. I don't think that has happened. I think Fulham are probably waiting for the Palhinha deal to actually be fully finalised, because obviously they'll get a significant amount of money from that. But we'll wait and see. ESR and Iwobi reunion. I mean, yeah, Smith-Rowe, Iwobi, Willian. What a reunion that is. What a reunion that is. Predictions for the semi-finals. 1-0 to France and England 0, Netherlands 0. England go through on penalties. That's what we're going for. France win it 1-0 in like the 89th minute with some absolute witchcraft. And and Leno. I think Fulham might struggle next year, losing Tosin and Palhinha. That's most of their spine. Yeah, possibly. It depends how they spend the money, though. Well, I mean, they've got no money for Tosin, but yeah, it'll be interesting. It will be interesting. Hi all, hope all as well. We're all good. 60 million feels ridiculous for Eze. Do you think that money would be better spent on a top striker? Well, I think a winger is more important. I do think a winger is more important than a striker at the moment. Would I be happy for Eze? The thing is, I've not seen a lot of Eze off the right, is the only thing I would say. I've not seen a lot of Eze off the right-hand side. But I think one of the most important things going into next season is that there is genuinely someone that can step in for Bukayo Saka, which is very difficult to do. He's not a right winger, no. But really, what would you say Eze is? What would you say Eze is? Rory, get a proper job. YouTube money is low. 3 messages ago, that Asian kid. 3 messages ago, you said this. So maybe if you didn't spend your time trying to wind people up online, maybe you wouldn't be. I think Martinelli will cook if we get a proper left 8 in Calafiori. I agree. This is the thing. Unlocking Martinelli saves us 60, 70 million quid. Getting the Martinelli back that we had a season before last saves us however much you think Martinelli at that point was worth. Like, I don't think people understand how important it is that we get that Martinelli back, unless we sell him, which we're not going to do. It really is the most important thing. So if we can get that Martinelli back, at that point, Eze comes in as someone that can play left wing. I mean, I'm assuming he can play off the right wing, right? I've not seen him do it much for Palace, but he's one of those players. Like, he just is versatile, similar to Kudus. Kudus can play off either side. He can play in midfield. He's crazy. So Calafiori won't help Martinelli. Calafiori will help Martinelli. Calafiori will absolutely help Martinelli. Calafiori gets forward a lot more. He's very comfortable on that left-hand side. He's left-footed. He will make overlapping runs. Calafiori will absolutely help Martinelli. I've no doubt about it. Xhaka would be such a good signing. Very much doubt it. Yeah, we're not bringing Xhaka back. Unfortunately. Martin Odegaard made some comments today, by the way, that were interesting. So Martin Odegaard did like a full-on interview today. He says some interesting things that we'll go through. He spoke about missing out on the title last season. He said it was a good season. We made history. We have to be proud. We all felt disappointed with being so close, but in football, it is small margins. It's easy to look at one game, but you have to look at the whole season. He said, we didn't have the consistency to win it. We have to earn it. We know we can improve. That's what we're working for. It's the small details and how to deal with a long season. We were so close, but we are going to come back even stronger. I really don't understand why there are so many morons in the comments tonight. This is crazy. That's like the fourth one. It's an absolute freak. Crazy. The next thing from Odegaard, he said, we had it on the last day, and I really had the feeling something special would happen. We had the big dream. After the game, it was just disappointment. When you were so close and you can see it there, the trophy was there. But it is important to think about all of the good things. You learn something every day, especially when you are so close. You can feel it, taste it, and have it there on the last day. It gives us all the motivation we need to come back even stronger this year and win it. That is the big goal. If you compare last season to the season before, we looked a lot stronger, especially towards the end of the season. We looked more mature, more confident. We are so connected. It was emotional to speak at the end of the season, but it was a nice experience to share it with the fans. So there's a lot of, we're coming back stronger. They understand where it went wrong. They do understand that it was the lack of consistency that hurt us. He said it's really important when you're playing football to not think too much. You have to think about all the tactical things and what we're doing on the pitch, but there is a lot of instinct on the pitch as well. It's important to play with freedom. It's also easier when you play in a system that works so well. We're so well trained and everybody knows the system so well that they know what to do in different situations. Then it's easier for players to shine individually. Mindset is important when you play, so I try to influence the others and make sure everyone feels good. What else did he say? On setting the tone in preseason. So, by the way, the senior players were expected to be back in preseason a week today. So the 15th of July. Obviously, the ones that have played late into the Euros and stuff won't be expected to be there. But the rest of them are expected back at the Schober Realty training ground next week. But on preseason, he said it's a good chance to gain an advantage. You need to take a break, but it's also a good chance to work on things you can't normally work on. You have some more time to recover, and it is a good chance to improve. It always takes a bit of time for new players to adapt, but they did last summer. They did really well to come in from the start and to come into the group. Throughout the whole season, we connected more and more, and this season is going to be better. We know each other even more. We were struggling a little bit before Christmas, and then we had the little break, went away and got even more together as a group. After that, we came back so strong and so consistent. The aim is to do that for the whole of the season. So he wants to do basically what they did. Basically the plan is what we managed to do after Dubai last year, do that for the whole season, which is obviously easier said than done. But yeah, so there you go. That the whole thing was good. The whole interview was good. You can go and read it. There's a rumor that Arsenal are going to sign Calafiori, Osimhen, Eze, Kimmich, Nico Williams, Ugarte, and they still bottle the league. And that fraud Arteta gets sacked and go Tottenham to win UCL. Sheikh Hamboob back in the chat again. What a name. What a name. There you go. Apparently the German player is the guy from Hoffenheim. Might not be reliable though. Who said it? I mean, I feel like it might be, by the way. I do feel like Maximilian Bayer from Hoffenheim, who we spoke about before, 21 years old, 16 goals in Bundesliga last season, is with the German squad was with the German squad at the Euros. I do feel like it could be him. I do feel like the mystery German could be him because he also ticks the box of the young forward with a high ceiling, plenty of room to grow. Can you do FOTMob on Yezer Asprilla? I can. We actually did it yesterday, but I can quickly do it again. Yezer Asprilla was the Watford winger we spoke about yesterday that we got linked to. To be honest, I'm pretty sure it wasn't that thrilling. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, I mean, this isn't bad. His passing's fine. That's decent. Creativity. I mean, I saw a compilation that makes him look good. I did see a compilation that makes him look good. Any news on the Emirates Cup? What do you mean? Yeah, the compilations always look good, though, right? Never judge a player on a good comp. That is what I would say. Never judge a player on a good comp. Do you think we will beat France in the finals if we get there? No, I think they'll probably win it 1-0 with an own goal. What happened with the Neves links? I think he's too expensive. The Neves links have kind of dropped in general just because of how expensive he is. I think I saw Plettigol say something. Oh, fair. The other player I was going to look at, I don't think we've ever actually looked at the greenery of Eze. I don't think we've ever looked for the greenery of Eze, but that's decent. That's decent. Premier League last season. This is very good. This is very good. This isn't too bad. This is very nice. Chance creation, that's very good. Expected assists is really good. Pass accuracy is all right. Because you've got to bear in mind, someone like Eze is always trying to make things happen. So that's not bad. In possession, obviously, as a dribbler of the ball, he's unbelievable. Fouls won, plenty. I mean, if you come to Arsenal, you can expect to stop getting so many of those fouls. And then defensively, not bad. Not bad. I like this again. Recoveries, possession won in the final third. That's decent. It's not bad. It's not bad. All things considered. Thoughts on Yusuf Fofana? He's decent. If Yusuf Fofana would only work if we got two midfielders. If we went and got two midfielders, Yusuf Fofana would be fine. If we only got one, I don't think he's good enough. I'm worried Calafiori is just another Euros hype player like Chiesa and won't perform for us, praying I'm wrong. He had a brilliant season for Bologna. Like, people had, I mean, I think it was actually Ross, but people had mentioned Calafiori before the Euros started. He did genuinely have a very, very good season for Bologna last season. I mean, this guy's been getting, he was getting hyped when he was like 18 years old, and then he got a horrible injury for Roma, like an awful knee injury. And it took him a while to come back. But, I mean, even still, the fact that he's starting for Italy at the age of 22 is fairly impressive in itself. So, I thought it might be Musiala. Who else would you cover up that much? Yeah, I mean, I get that side of it. I just can't imagine it being Musiala. I just can't. Good to hear. Genuinely hadn't heard of him until this Euros. I'd heard of him a bit. Would you take João Felix? No, I'm not taking João Felix. Someone wanted to look at the Maximilian Bayer. We did it a couple of days ago, but yeah, he's like 6 foot tall, right-footed, 21 years old. Barely played at the Euros. To be fair, he got 25 minutes at the Euros, but Bundesliga last season. He's a goal scorer. He's a decent goal scorer. Pass accuracy is all right. There's not a lot that you can read from this, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't look great. There's not a huge amount of greenery other than up here. But there's quite a lot of hype around him in Germany. So it's one of those. My cousin lives in Italy, and he says people are just in awe of Calafiori and his talents, which is why I mentioned. Yeah, well, there you go. We've got it from an Italian. Ross's cousin has given the cosign, so we're good to go. How much would Musiala cost since his contract is up next season? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how much Musiala. I'd say like 80 million. I would say he'd be expensive. He would be expensive. I mean, I'd love it. I would absolutely love it. It's one of those, like him and Wirtz, I just can't see us doing it. What do you think of the new Napoli logo? What's the new Napoli logo? Napoli have a new logo? What is it? Wait. I'd never seen that. I hadn't even seen that. That's all right. It's all right, I suppose. FYI, my cousin is not Romano. Oh, damn. I was assuming it was. That's a shame. Carl, thank you very, very much for the €5 super chat. Why do you think Pep and Arteta is going from having a huge squad to only having a few quality players in every position? Strange, there are more games now. FFP or PSR. It's all to do with wages. It's all to do with wages, right? So basically, the idea is you have 18 or 19 top level players, and that's it. Because you can't afford to have more than that. In terms of if you want a high enough quality to play and compete for the title, they've got to be on X amount of wages that you just can't afford to have 23 or 24 players on. So basically, that, you know, Pep's idea is I'd rather have 18 fully Man City level players than have 23 players, but actually 8 of them aren't at the level that you need them to be. Musiala would fit into the role Arteta had planned for Havertz last season, midfield, but you can do whatever you want. Maybe. I mean, he could also play off the left, but I don't know. People think because we have 10 billion in the bank, we can put a Messi in every position. Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. But I don't know. Look, I think it's the right way to go. Alex, the different knot, called him Calafiori. There you go. I mean, to be fair, he does have aura. Are you doing a Tifo stream tomorrow? Yes. Tomorrow evening, I will be live on Tifo for France versus Spain. I'll be live on Tifo for France versus Spain. We'll have a normal YouTube stream before that tomorrow evening anyway, so I'll make sure to send you all over there tomorrow. But yeah, we will be live on Tifo tomorrow evening. We'll also be live on Twitch again this evening, continuing The Walking Dead, which is I'm loving it. I'm loving The Walking Dead at the moment. It's enjoyable. If we get Musiala, I think I'll cream. Fair play, Jacobs. Fair play. I mean, I wouldn't blame you. I would not blame you. Saliba masterclass incoming. Probably. Hopefully. I mean, we're pretty much, unless Netherlands win the Euros, Arsenal are coming home with a Euros winner. So it's either going to be David Raya, William Saliba, Saka, Rice, and Ramsdale, or if Netherlands win, then we won't have one. But do you love zombie games and movies? I wouldn't say I'm like a huge fan, but yeah, I've been enjoying it. I have been enjoying it. We did The Last of Us as well, which was good fun too. So, haven't been on Tifo since the beta. What has changed since? A few things have changed. It's just a lot cleaner. There are more big things coming. For the start of next season, the start of next season is going to be quality. But yeah, generally, it's just like, it just looks a lot better. It just looks a lot better, basically. Anyone heard anything on Santi returning lately? No, not me. Not me. Is there anyone else strongly linked with us apart from Calafiori? Not really, other than Dan Bentley. Other than the Wolves keeper, there's not really anyone else who's like massively strongly linked with us. By the way, if you could click the like button, there's 260 of you here. If we could get to 100 likes, I would be incredibly grateful. Get to 100 likes before the end of the stream. That would be sensational. Tifo's got a proper interface and home screen, etc. It's proper. Yeah. There's just a lot of improvements like that. Do we know when we get an app for Tifo? It will happen at some point, but yeah, they're focusing on, actually, the first thing they're focusing on is making it a really good experience when you go on like the phone browser rather than the app, because it's so much more resources to make an app. They will do it at some point though. Why were people saying we were linked to Eze? I haven't seen anything. It came from Ed Aarons in The Guardian. He said Arsenal are understood to be among several clubs interested in Crystal Palace's Eberici Eze. So that's where that came from. Also, I saw a thing last night, and we spoke about it on Mo's stream today. I can't even remember the source. Basically, this idea that Arsenal are considering a move for Rafinha, and it was like it was going to involve an Arsenal player going the other way. I've not seen that anywhere, really, other than some random sources. So I think that's completely wrong. I don't think we're going to go in for Rafinha at all. If you see that. If we get Musiala, we're sacrificing a goal scorer. In Kai we trust. Would Palace sell both Eze and Elise, though? Possibly, yeah. If the money comes in for Eze, then they'll do it. If the money is there, then they'll do it. Anyway, it is time for Guess the Gooner, the game where I give you 5 clues about an ex or current Arsenal player, and you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the RoryTalksFootball community. Get your fingers on keyboards. Starting now. Clue number 1. This player has 58 goals in 226 games for Arsenal. This player had 58 goals in 226 games for Arsenal. Clue number 2, they won 1 FA Cup and 2 Community Shields. Clue number 2, they won 1 FA Cup and 2 Community Shields. Clue number 3, they came through the Hale End. Clue number 3, they came through the Hale End. Clue number 4, they've made 38 appearances for England. Clue number 4, they've made 38 appearances for England. And clue number 5, he had his own Nando's sauce. Clue number 5, he had his own Nando's sauce. Yeah, people got that quite quickly. I'll be honest, there were very few ways of me making difficult clues about the winner. And the winner is... Carter. It is Carter that has won it. It was Saka. Is that the first time you've ever won, Carter? But congratulations. Carter has won it. Ethan Udall was second. Sportcat was third. Max Evans was fourth. And Say OK was fifth. There you go. Carter. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. There he is. Yes, finally. It's his first ever win. Bukayo Saka. You'll love to see it. Is Ian Wright a non-gooner now? He is my guess. I mean, look, the way some Arsenal fans are talking about it, he would be. No, he's not. He's not the guest of the non-gooner, though. Congratulations to Carter. Got it from the goals. Fair play. Fair play. Anyway, it is time for Guess the Non-Gooner. I'm going to give you the entire career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal. You have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community, but not as much respect as Carter currently has. This player started their career at Southampton. They went to Blackburn Rovers. They went from Southampton to Blackburn Rovers. They went to Newcastle United. And then they retired. Southampton, Blackburn, Newcastle United, retirement. Not Luke Shaw. Not Luke Shaw. The winner is... Ross Lawman. Ross Lawman is the winner. It was indeed Shearer. Alan Shearer was the winner, and Ross has won it. Congratulations to Ross. Second was MC Gaming. Third was Ethan Udall. Fourth was Carl. And fifth was Amar. So there you go. Jake has been a member for 3 months. Thank you very, very much, Jake. I really, really do appreciate the support. As always, all of the members, I do appreciate. He guessed Armstrong with his membership renewal, but it was not. It was not Armstrong. It was Alan Shearer. Pressure. What pressure? Pressure is for tyres. What an iconic piece of commentary that was from Shearer the other night. Absolutely iconic. Is there player ratings of the England game? No, actually, I didn't do them. Maybe I probably should have done it, but it's probably a bit too late now. What did you think of Van der Ven's comments on the battle with Saka? Well, apart from anything, like, he's not wrong for starters. He's not wrong in the sense that I think Nathan Ake has been one of the best defenders at the tournament. It's going to be a very, very tough battle for Saka against Ake. I've seen Saka against Ake before, and it's a tough battle. The one thing I don't understand from Van der Ven is he talks about how quick Bukayo Saka is. Saka's not actually that quick. Like, he's not that... It's his body movement that is how he gets around players. In terms of out-and-out pacey wingers, Saka isn't that quick. But no, I mean, I saw some Arsenal fans getting annoyed at Van der Ven. What do you want him to say? He's not gonna sit there and say, yeah, I think Bukayo Saka is going to absolutely cook us. Like, you know, obviously he's going to come out and say that Van Dijk and Ake are gonna deal with it. So I have no problem. Walker needs to overlap. Walker needs to be dropped. He is quick. He's quick, but he's not like rapid for a winger. You know? in terms of top speed. We could possibly see Spain versus Netherlands in the final. In my opinion, that would be the perfect final. If it's Spain against Netherlands, Spain win it. That is what I would say, definitely. Do you think England will meet Italy in the finals again? I've got a weird feeling that we won't. I've got a weird feeling that we're not going to meet Italy in the final. But we'll see. Anyway, look, that is going to be the end of the stream. If you could get me over to 100 likes if I'm not there already. That would be awesome. Subscribe if you're new. I will be back on Twitch later on tonight. Link to that is down in the description. Other than that, have a fantastic evening. I appreciate you all watching. I'll be back live on here tomorrow at 6:30. No, at 6:30. At 6:30. And then we'll be live on TIFO for the watch along as well. But yeah, other than that, have a fantastic evening. And I will catch you all later or tomorrow. Goodbye.